Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone this evening? Maxine Pearl Phillips McKoy, your host and CEO of Life Strategies. Now, you see in front of me the word level less. Level less is all about removing levels. So you no longer compete with yourself. You don't compete with anyone else. But one thing that you do is you define what success looks like for you. And then you put a strategy against those. And then you can advocate for yourself. You know your worth and you continue to succeed on your terms. So that's what level less is all about. Yes, is a mind shift, is a mindset shift, but it's also a movement because I love the fact that there's so many individuals out here that I keep deeming them as the levelist person, the levelist man, the levelist woman, the levelist student. And why is that? Because they are succeeding on their terms. They know what success looks like for them. That's what this show is all about. Life strategies, the strategies that you put in place to get you where you are today. Navigate through those what? Difficult times, challenges. But tonight we have another special guest. And you know how I get excited about my guests. So we have Beata Alakar. Let me tell you a little bit about her. I met this powerful woman about a year and a half ago. And you know, it's nothing like having someone introduce you to another powerful woman. When I met her, you're talking about a vibe. Oh my gracious, she had such a warm, inviting, personal approach. But a little bit about her, and she's going to tell us her story. But she's a special event manager, a director, NC Vibes Raleigh. So whenever I talk to her, she always say, Maxine, I love your vibes. So tonight, she's going to help us to understand how our vibes actually impress, or maybe not impress, other people and how it could hinder us or help us. It depends. So we're going to hear from this wonderful, powerful lady. And once I bring her up, I'm going to give you just a little bit of more of a nugget that happened yesterday. Oh my gracious, you don't want to miss this. So you better make sure that you call all your friends, tag them, email them, put them on Facebook and say, hey, you need to be here tonight to listen to what they're going to be talking about, how your vibes can and is a part of your brand. So go ahead, let me know where you're chiming in from and join in the conversation. So let's bring our special guests up.
Well, hello, Maxine. You are so incredibly sweet. This is such a great introduction. I love you right back. You are
Mm.
amazing. You do have an incredible vibe, aura around you. You're smiling all the time. I'm so honored that I know you and have worked with you in the past, and we kind of clicked and stuck together. So thank you for this warm introduction.
Well, thank you for accepting it, especially knowing you had such a big event yesterday.
I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, if you were in anywhere in the Raleigh, Cary, Durham area and you did not attend the Women's International Day at the Sheraton downtown Raleigh, oh, you missed a treat. I can listen. I already put on my calendar trying to ask her when the next one is going to be next year. What's the date? So we're gonna have to make sure we put the date out there, okay?
Yeah.
But I want to tell you about that event. There were so many powerful women there, all nationalities. I mean, diversity. I mean, the vendors were plentiful. The people were so welcoming and approaching. And so, what I want the director of this event to tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you even become a part of this International Women's Day?
All right, I can do that. That's easy. That I can do. So, as you know, Maxine, I do a lot of international festivals, international events, cultural events. So, the idea behind the international, we have a nonprofit called the International Festival. And what the whole idea is to provide a platform, and we have a 501c3. It's the whole idea, the mission is to uh, uh, provide a platform to basically for cross cultural exchange, with food, tradition, all these bizarre, not bizarre, but bazaar, like the actual
Right.
handmade, handcrafted items, just things like that that people can bring from their country and come sell over here and talk a little bit about it. And so what we found is, of course, American people are always happy to find somebody new, talk to somebody new. It's just incredibly warm and welcoming here in Raleigh. I don't know about other
Yes.
places. I can speak for my city. And so, but on the other hand, it also works the other way too. So for example, some people from, let's say, India or China or whoever, we have a lot of cultural groups here that don't come to downtown Raleigh. They're scared of the traffic. They don't know, they don't just mingle. And so it brings away, this festival brings everybody together to celebrate cultural differences. So that's how it was. And so in Europe, oftentimes they do celebrate International Women's Day. And so last year we just had a few friends. We're like, okay, let's just go out to dinner, whatever. We went out to dinner and they're like, we should do something bigger. What do you guys think about this? So everybody thought I was crazy that I could bring these, incredible vendors and I literally did this all by myself because we don't have the money to pay anybody to do it. The only
Right.
people we paid is the Sheraton, and the vendors, of course, helped us foot the bill. They pay a small fee to be there. We paid the Sheraton. We paid the DJ. Obviously, he needs that's how he makes a living. The photographers and some of the help, the contractors. So that's how we were able to do it because oftentimes my friends will jump in and help me with my stupid and crazy ideas. We had no idea. We had no idea
Oh my
that
goodness.
many
It
people
was
would show
such
up.
a success, but it was such a success though. I mean, the people. Now tell us, you probably wasn't even anticipating that many people. So tell us how many people actually arrived.
So I don't know, but we had free registration system to kind of gauge how many people will show up. So when on Eventbrite, let's say we had 545 responded as coming. So we had a 4-hour event, so people would come and leave, and visit with the vendors a little bit. We had over 50, no, I'm sorry, about 70 vendors sign up. Of course, we don't have the space for them. We were only able to accommodate about 40, and literally like an 8-foot table. So we'll see. I think I have a feeling that it's going to be bigger next year and
Oh,
even better.
bigger. Oh, it's definitely going to be bigger. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about it. Me and my mouth and talking about the success of it
Oh,
and
thank
the friendliness, the environment is so critical when you come to an event such as that. Even though you had that many people, you had that many vendors, but you were able to maneuver
you. Yeah.
between the vendors, talk to the vendors. The music wasn't too loud, so
Yeah.
everything was a conversation, which I thought was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and with every event, you tweak it a little bit. You learn from one thing. You go, what would have worked better is this, this, and this. So in your mind, it works one way, and then when it's in reality, is different. Kind of like when I kept this tried to keep the speakers under 2 minutes, they wouldn't. Nobody did it. Even the DJ wouldn't turn the music on because I wanted him to turn the music on after 2 minutes, because I wanted to give everybody a chance to say something. And oftentimes people talk and they don't, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I talk and I don't know how long I've been talking. So it's so we learn and we tweak it. But you're talking about this vibe that was there, and honestly I felt the exact same way because it's always positive. Anytime you feel, and I wanted to talk to your listeners, because in your introduction you said know your worth and compete with your own self, right? You
Right.
know yourself, right? And
Right.
so part of knowing yourself is feeling the vibes that's around you, right? Part of knowing what bothers you, what you're not good at. So for me, for example, a room full of 500 people, I can tell when somebody doesn't like me. So it feels bad. It's like,
Mhm.
oh no, they don't like my accent or they don't like the way I'm doing something or I look bossy. And I don't mean to do that because I'm nice to everybody. It's just sometimes you have to make quick decisions to go, oh no, you go over there and I'll move this table over here. So we had to do a lot of that yesterday. But I do approach people just like you know, Maxine. I feel like everybody has something to add. Nobody's better than anybody. We're all equal. And
Right.
that's part of going back to know your worth. Everybody, you know, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you work in, you know, in an administrative office, whether you're CEO, at the bottom, we're all equal. We're all happy people. We're all kind and compassionate people. And that's how I approach all the vendors. I know they've put their heart and soul into their craft, into their, you know, the cute little jewelry and things like that. And I always want to support them. So I buy these things that I don't even need. I just go, like, well, I'll just give it to somebody later. But I wanted to support some of them, you know, like earrings or not these, but you know, usually I'll buy some stuff that I can, you know, give to somebody else for Christmas or for their birthday. But I do want to support these guys. So anyway, but this is kind of going back to your question. The vibe is, you know, when you enter a room, just go with a positive attitude. You know, you have just as much as they do, right? Nobody's better than anybody. You are equal to them. Just go in there. They like it, great. They don't like it, then you know, just you did your best. Go positive, stay positive. They're gonna be you. They might have had a bad day, and they come across as mean or whatever, but at the end of the day, you know, they're your equal.
Exactly. And you said something about go in and be yourself, do yourself, be you, no matter what. And the positive side is who are you?
Yeah.
Bring out your positive side. So whenever
Yeah.
you walk into a room, like you talked about my smile, well, that's me. That's a
Yeah.
part of my persona. I
Yeah.
smile all the time. And
Yeah.
many times people misjudge that. Why is she smiling so much? And I always say, I choose to be happy. Now, am
Mhm.
I if things are things happening all the time positively? Of course not. But I choose to react in a happy way because if I don't, it can send you to another spiral downward, and that's not where I want to be. That's not the kind
Exactly.
of person I am, and so I choose to be happy. So be happy, you all out there, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, be happy. Yes,
Yeah.
life is gonna throw you what lemons, and everybody say make lemonade out of it, but I always say make sure you put some sugar in it.
Yeah, because by itself it's not that great, right?
No, it's
Well,
not great.
I don't know. A little vodka usually helps with it too. But
Listen,
you know, I was going to tell you, you know, going with this. So anytime you're talking about your smile, honestly, Maxine, if you notice, and this has been, there's real research. I don't have it handy. Your day will improve the minute you start smiling.
oh yes,
So just go in with a smile every day. Everything else is going to fall into place, but just go in and just bring positive vibe. It will multiply.
yeah,
And at the end so sometimes I feel the same way. You might feel like if you're interviewing, let's say if you were interviewing for a job or somebody you're nervous, that person is there in a powerful position, but the minute they lose their job, they're not that important. So look at them as a real, you're kind of respecting the position they're in because you do need a job. So you interview with them, whether it's a client or, I don't know, interview for school or an interview for a job, right? Go in and
right,
say, they don't look at them as this powerful person, because really without their job, they're just normal person, right? So just
right.
approach them that way, and don't be intimidated by anybody, because you are just as good as they are. They just happen to have this job.
That's correct. That's correct. And even in an interview, it's still okay to smile.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of we have to look so serious, but it's nothing like having that friendly, warm, approachable, spirit,
Yeah.
or talk in that manner. And if you said something is a little bit on the humorous side, then smile, because other than that, they're not going to know it's humorous. If
Oh,
you
I
all,
know. Yeah.
it depends on the culture and what they're looking for as well. So you have to be you, do you, no matter what. Be
Mhm.
authentic. Just
Yeah,
be authentic.
exactly. Yeah.
But the show is all about life strategies. And we
Yeah.
already know that we had to jump some hurdles to get where and us to be where we are today. And many people have done the same thing. So I want you to just take us back a little and tell us, how did you actually get started in your career? What even made you to think about becoming an event? coordinator.
So I tell you what, how it started. First of all, I worked 7 years in accounting, and I hated it because I'm a people person. I'm not very detailed oriented. Those guys have incredible gift. I was actually a assistant to the controller for an injection molding company. And I kept on thinking one day I'm going to leave this job, but I was putting my husband through school, through grad school. So I just
Mhm.
went ahead and kept on with it. But once I left there, I was like, I know I'm a people person. I should have taken a test, kind of like what you do, Maxine. Like help me define. If I had known what I know now, I know I'm a people person. I wouldn't have wasted my time in accounting because I didn't really like it. So anyway, that's a plug for you for your business, Maxine.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
But it's true. I wish I did, but then I realized, okay, when I had my kids, I stayed home with the kids. I was such a people person. We started throwing together back when Zumba first started. We would do these fundraisers for UNICEF. And so we would get all these instructors together. We'd have one big 3-hour master class. People paid $5 to be there, and then we'd donate the money to UNICEF. And so it grew like that, and the event kept on getting bigger and bigger. We didn't have any place to hold it anymore. So I bought my own wedding venue at one point and started doing events there, weddings and cultural stuff. But then, a church bought my building and it offered me a wad of cash for the contract. So I guess, sure, whatever, I'll take it. And so now I don't have a venue anymore. But then I spent more time with the kids that way because it was every weekend we had something. So it was fun.
Right.
But it kind of takes a toll on you. So anyway, I went and moved on. It's like, okay, let's do. I was started doing the a section of the international festival, and then it grew and grew, and I took over the international festival, and then they stopped doing it. International Focus, I think, stopped doing it. I'm not sure what they're doing, but I did my own version of the festival downtown Raleigh, and it's a different one. It's like an international food festival, and it's more around food and food trucks. And so about 30,000 people came last year to the International Food Festival
Hmm.
to Raleigh. One, it helps with businesses downtown. I know it's awesome because it helps. Downtown never came back really. Never really recovered. A lot of businesses went out of business and still not quite there. And so we were happy to bring that back in August of 21, and then 22 we did June of 22, and it keeps getting bigger every year. So that's how it came about. And then I wanted to make sure, like I said, in the beginning, I wanted to make sure that we provide a platform where international people can share their culture, nothing politic, no politics, and no religion, just cultural stuff, history, fun, art, just music. I mean, that's what you want. That's at the end of
Right.
the day, we all respond to that. That's a love language to me. It's like, just, oh, you made this, it's so pretty. And and I think that's what breaks that barrier between people, not politics. I think politics is probably the opposite.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're so right because when you start talking about the abilities that we have and we put them into our craft, we put them into the things that we love, the passion. I mean, I saw people who had natural soaps out there that they created by
Yeah.
hand, bags that they created by hand. Then you had the Small Business Association out there,
Hmm.
administration out there, so they could help those who were entrepreneurs. And I love the fact that when you are doing these events, you're even thinking of our young adults, because
Yeah.
that's near and dear to me. We want to make sure
Yeah.
that they get knowledge and they get a chance to learn from the wisdom that they are around. And when
Yeah.
I saw young people and those young women doing their pitch, I thought, what an awesome touch to that event. Not only did they see women on the stage as panelists and giving these, here on the show, we call them platinum nuggets.
Hmm. Hmm.
Beyond gold and they're platinum nuggets.
Yeah.
But not only did you got the mayor up there who's giving all these wonderful nuggets, and then you got these young women out there who's getting ready to do their pitch, and then they get a chance to come on stage and do their pitch. So you
Mhm.
got confidence that's being built, you got presentation that's being delivered, you got people who are evaluating them. They got a chance to experience so much richness during that International Women's Day. So it's
Yeah.
like I can't stop talking about how I looked at it, how organized it was. and
Oh.
how the different diverse pieces to it, not only the individuals there, but even the events that you offered were so very diverse, very
I
diverse.
loved, yeah, I loved it. And it kind of came together honestly from when you have something like this, you have to be flexible in any business. You kind of have to listen to input from people. So I
Mhm,
started out with Elaine Marshall, the Secretary of State, and I was like, "What do you think about this?" She loved the idea. I want to be on board. So she wanted to be on board.
mhm.
And she's so generous with her time. I mean, she's been in as secretary for over, I think, around 20 years. She's the first secretary, woman secretary. She supports local businesses. She supports women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses. She loves it. She goes after big companies to bring them to North Carolina and smaller companies. So I'm on the coalition now with her, the Coalition for Business or something like that. I don't even
I
know,
saw
remember the
that
name.
she appointed you. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, you saw that? Oh,
I
yeah.
saw that. Yeah, part of
Oh,
your
cool.
write-up. Yes.
Oh, well, I didn't even know that. But yeah, so thank
Uh-huh.
you. And so, so then, also the Marianne Baldwin, the mayor. Of course, whenever you're in public figure, no, not everybody's satisfied. Some people love Marianne, some people don't like her, some people are in the middle, they don't care either way. But she came, she took office when all this stuff was happening. She and all the other mayors didn't know what to do. And so, you kind of need to give her a break a little bit. I don't know, some people don't like her, but I've known her as a person. She's really a nice person. And so she wanted to help local business. She's always been an advocate for women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses. So if you look at her bio, she has worked for a long time to help all that. She talked about affordable housing, as you know.
I did.
And she talked about some grants for a local business. So everybody that's listening, apply for grants if you can. There's like $1 million grant for the downtown business, and that they allotted. So they are trying, and I would never be a politician because I would be terrible at it. Because I go in with a smile and then I crumble if I see like somebody who's criticizing me. I don't like it. I feel the vibe. I don't like it. And so, but then we had, like you said, diversity. We had a woman from Iran talking about how the women's role were. We had a French woman who was establishing a school here. All the attorney Anna Feltz, Smith Feltz, who is the first woman. Well, she's not the first, but she's the only woman attorney, has her own firm in Raleigh. And she was awesome to listen to her perspective
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And so, we had a great variety. And then the idea of the Shark Tank came about with, because I'm such a Shark Tank nerd. I was like, wouldn't that be cool to encourage these young women to get up on stage and pitch their idea, talk to Wake County schools. And apparently they have an entrepreneurship program, which Tabitha introduced them. She gathered all these girls, taught them how to write a business plan, taught them they had to actually do this, a real pitch to her. And she selected the best of the best, and we put them up on stage. And you can tell they were prepared too.
They
Yeah,
were
they
prepared.
did a good job. Yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love that some of them there were two that were presenting and they knew their part,
The sisters. Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was awesome. I didn't get a chance to sample what they offer because I think
Well, that
somebody
was good.
had samples, but I didn't get a chance to sample. So that
Yes, so two people already volunteered to connect. They want to connect with all the young entrepreneurs to give them mentorship. That was one of the prizes, is mentorship. So we'll probably give them some gift certificate. We gave them gift certificates, but sorry, we gave them certificates, but we'll give them like a gift of some sort from NC Vibes, probably most likely.
well, that would be awesome. So
Yeah.
now that we know about what caused you to get into choose this career and profession, so tell me who's been the most significant influencer in your life? If you can tell us who they are, and then what part of your life have they influenced you the most?
Probably, I don't know who would be my influencer. I think it's just a combination of, that's a tricky question, and I never get tricked. But thank you for asking.
Not meant to be no trick question.
I can tell you it's important in my life. Obviously, my sisters and my family, my brother. My parents died when I was 5, so all I have is my sisters and my
Okay.
brother. that's growing up. I've always, every day I call, one of them, I has to be on the phone. And, and we talk about things like that. And then my kids, my three boys, I have three boys. And so they've always been, I want to set a good example. As you know, immigrant people or immigrant uh, people here struggle. I struggled a lot in school. I didn't like it. English was my third language, and I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what inches were. We went in centimeters. We had centimeters and millimeters and all that stuff. And so I came here trying to get into NC State. So it was a tough road for the first 2 years. And Mina, the teacher that we gave an award to, she goes above and beyond at Wake Tech to help these international students. That's why we gave her that award, because she goes above and beyond to help them kind of get adjusted well in this country. And so I got to meet them all 2 weeks ago, and I didn't have those teachers. I was at NC State, and nobody cared. There's 30,000 other students. They don't care. And so it was tough. So that was always my I set an example as a hardworking immigrant, because I feel like I have this chance. In Lebanon, I don't have that chance. And here you cannot fail here. I mean, there's so many good people around you that will help you, organizations, government that will help you. Don't let yourself, don't be a victim. Just, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and go for it, because you have your health, you have your kids to set an example for, you have your sisters, you don't want to upset them, you have your parents, you want to make them proud, you have your friends. And so, so we all have those days where we're going to spiral down. If we need to go crawl in a corner the next day, go to sleep the next day, pull yourself back up, meditate, or pray, whatever works for you. Have a cup
Right.
of coffee and, start over. It's a new day. And we all will have those days where you just kind of have, just sadness. For some reason, you're missing somebody you love or whatever. But eventually, you know what? You're on your own. You have to pick yourself up. You have to motivate yourself. You be your own advocate, like you said, Maxine, in the beginning. You have to be your own. Nobody's going to pick you
That's
up.
right. That's right.
You're going to have to do that for yourself.
That's that levelist mindset that we are. It's a movement.
Exactly.
I tell
Shifting the
everybody
paradigm, like you're saying, you got to
it's a
shift that
movement.
paradigm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to
Yeah.
have that mindset shift. It's all about, when I say it's all about you, I don't mean that you're being selfless. I don't mean that. What I'm talking about is that you need to look at you internally and
Yes.
understand who you are from your core. And that way, when you know who you are, then you're better able to help others, because now you can identify other in what they are and who they are and how they like to be communicated with. So that's so critical in life. I love what you said as far as being you, do you, and it's going to blossom. If you just believe in you, it will blossom. So
Yes.
when we start talking about believing in you, I never will forget when we first met. And I think the first thing you said to me is that I love your vibes. I
I
love them.
do. Yeah. You can feel it. Yeah, you can feel it.
I love people. I love people. I love helping people. I love empowering people. And you're the same way, you know.
I do.
So help us to understand, how does our vibe it either impress or have people to look at us in a certain way? How does it play a role in our brand?
So, very good question, Maxine. Because if you can imagine watching yourself, right? If you watch yourself from far, that's how I look at it. In my mind, whether I'm telling people, that's why I'm kind to people, because if somebody's watching you from far and you feel like they're bossing people around, you go, oh, she's so bossy. I don't like her. But you're not, you're just trying to say, okay, if you stand here, that you're doing something nice, but you're saying it. If you set your table here, maybe we can move this table. So you come across as a bossy person, but all you're trying to do is fit in one more person in here, let's say, right? That's just an example. So
Right.
anytime you do something, whether you're standing in line in customer service, whether you're on the phone, or just imagine somebody's watching you, and you go, do I really want to be seen that way, or do I want to be seen like a kind, beautiful person. That's what I see in you. Like you're always happy. You're so sweet. You're trying to help other people, and you give other people a chance to talk and be on your platform. So it's not like, hey, everybody listen to me. Like example, right? Oprah. Everybody loves Oprah, but to me, I always wonder, is like how, sorry if anybody likes Oprah and I'm like ragging on her, but she's amazing. She's an amazing person. But then she puts herself on every cover of her magazine. And I'm thinking to myself, I it would be hard for me to do that. So as an observer, I go, well, how much you must be in love with yourself so much that you put, yourself on the magazine every time. To
Mm-hmm,
me, I
mm-hmm.
would highlight people who are doing good. For example, you saw yesterday we highlighted Abina, who's given back to her community to build bathrooms in their town
Oh,
in Ghana.
yes.
In Ghana, and then there's another one, Doha. They're helping women as well. The North Carolina Courage, they're helping women, excel in sports. Um, for those who are soccer fans here, one of the best teams are in Raleigh. The North Carolina Courage is one of the best women's soccer team. But anyway, so these are the people that give other people a chance, just like you give other people a chance. I feel like I'm doing the same thing yesterday, because I could have been talking on the mic forever, but people don't want to just hear about me. I just kind of introduced a few people, and I wanted Elena Athens from WTV D11 to moderate because she's great.
Right.
She's a good friend of mine. She did it pro bono, obviously. She didn't want to get paid, and yet she did a great job. She's an expert at it. So I want to give my friend a chance to moderate this instead of me hearing myself talk like I'm doing right now. But
But I invited you, so you get a chance to talk. That's the difference.
yeah,
That's the difference. And you're right, because many times, of course, I could have had this platform and all every Monday you see me and talking about me and what I do, how I help people.
exactly.
That's not the vision that was given to me. And I believe in a higher power other than myself. And
Mhm.
when I was given the vision and given even the company in which I own, when I was given the vision for it, it was not it's never about you. It's about what can you do to help others? What can you do to bring others along? How can you move others forward? So this whole platform about life strategies, it came about during the pandemic. And it
Oh,
came about because people were what? Losing jobs. And I
hmm,
started with career strategies. It was just career strategies at first, helping with resumes, interviewing, how to look for a job, how to, the things you need to take into consideration when you interview. And it has evolved because now it's about bringing experts on like yourself to talk about how did you navigate life, because we all have stories to tell. You don't need to hear
exactly.
Maxine 24/7, but you need to hear other people. Maxine told you what she has done in order to climb, right, or jump over those hurdles. But look at some of the other people who've done the same thing. So it's just to substantiate and confirm these things can be done. It's not just by one person. It's not just by one what ethnicity group. It's life. It's called the
Hmm.
life journey or the journey of life. And so bringing you on to me was just a no brainer to bring individuals on to talk about how they have navigated life to get to where they are. And
Yeah,
this gives other people hope.
exactly. And
It
Maxine,
gives them
I don't remember if you were there at the time when I told everybody to turn to their right and to their left, because everyone has an incredible story. I don't know how we all ended up in Raleigh. Everybody has an incredible story, their own, you know, hardships, and their mom died of cancer or whatever. Everything is just so raw, and all of a sudden they're all in one place helping each other. And so when you were helping people during COVID, lockdown, I think that's a great service to all the women, or everybody really, because a lot of issues from loneliness and reevaluating life, and things kind of I including myself, all of a sudden I discovered I was claustrophobic. I was like, oh no, I can't be here anymore. I just would ride my bike for like 10 miles every day because I just couldn't be inside walls anymore. And so, and the tennis courts were locked. You couldn't, no gym, nothing. And so so everyone, just like you said, they evaluated their career, their choices, things like that. So even if you feel depressed right now, I mean, I promise you it gets better. Don't give up. Don't like go into a dark hole.
That's
There are
right.
amazing people you're going to need to connect with. There's so many things right now. Unemployment is great, so if you're struggling, just work anything, just meet people, go talk to people, connect. Maxine is here to help you where anytime. You guys can reach out to me, and if you're a vendor or you want to be part of something, just let me know, because we could use volunteers. You can connect with people. If you just figure out who you are first, like what makes you happy, and go for it. There's no limit.
That's right. That's right. And when you're figuring out who you are and what it is, the strengths and the abilities that you have, that's what we do right here at Level Us. We help you. We
Mhm.
assess those. I call them everyday natural abilities and strengths. And then you, hey, design a strategy that's going to help you meet those goals. Not, we don't want you surviving. We want you to thrive in life. We want you to
Mhm.
love what it is that you're doing. And therefore, you can then reach back and help others. You can help your family. You can help your community. You can help your neighbors. You can help the world. It
Mhm.
does not end. I know we always hear the cliche, the sky is the limit. But with Levelist, we challenge that because we say the sky is not the limit. There's no limit to where you can go when you know who you are and what your natural abilities and strengths are. You
Mhm.
succeed on your terms. Don't let anybody take that away from you. It's
And
all about
yeah, and Maxine, what on the same what you're talking about, don't compare yourself to others.
come
Compare
on.
yourself to you. Yeah, just you. What did I do yesterday that I can do better today? And just go for it.
Yes.
I reached 200 customers today. You know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna reach 210, and the day after, and the day. Figure out creative ways to do things that make you happy, whether it's a walk or connecting with a group or meetup group or something. But don't wallow. Don't stay where you are if you're not happy. Keep moving forward. And Maxine is right. The sky is not the limit. There's above and beyond.
Yes. And we have Paulette Austin who just came on. We have Dion Wingate that says, hey, he gave us thumbs up. So he's listening. Paulette says, helping others. That is right, Paulette, helping others. And let's see, anybody else, Mark? Mark is helping us bring it in because some of them are coming in from different places. But let us know you're here. Let us know you're here. And if you have a question, join in the conversation. Ask the question. I don't have to always ask all the questions, but if you don't type it in and let me know, then that leaves it, I have to go on and make sure we have this rich conversation that we're having. All right, so let's see what else is going to go on with you. So, okay, so when you
I
got
wrote
through
my
all these tough times, oh, okay, when
I
you
just
got
wrote
through
my
these,
email for everybody. Yeah, yeah.
oh, good, 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 good. And also write it in our little private chat too. And what we'll do is, if you want us to, we'll run it across the banner so that everyone can see it. Okay. All right. So tell me about a strategy that maybe a mentor or a coach or even a friend or even your family gave you, and what was the strategy and how did you implement it?
Strategy for the events, right? You're
No,
saying
for
for
your
the event?
life. No, for you. For
Oh
you, your
Lord,
life event. It can
you
either
know.
be for the event or it can be for you.
I did for personally. I just kind of found my way because I grew up Catholic, and I would just read the Bible, and that helped me get through the war that we were in, and the whole family stuff. But when I got here, also it was just a struggle. There was really no one that told me like how to do things or anything like that. But there was people who were kind, people that when I was here, they helped me as when I first came here. So I always admired those people, the people that are kind in my life. There's a couple that kind of didn't adopt me because I was way older than to be adopted, but they helped me out. They paid for school, and I of course paid them back. But they helped me with NC State, pay the tuition, and then I kind of paid them back. But they were always the kindest people, the sweetest. They never cursed. Of course, I'm the opposite, but They were always, they showed me the kindness, they showed me kindness. And I think I was like, wow, that's so inspirational. Like, I wish I could do that one day, to help other people. And then I wanted my boys, to have a good example. So I would always say, okay, what would they say if they saw me do this, this, and this? I was to them a role model in my mind. But
Mhm.
I don't know, most people have their mom and dad, but it's harder when you don't have anyone to follow. You kind of
Right.
figure life out on your own. And it is, that's, I always say God gives you a deck of cards. Everybody has a deck of cards. Sometimes all the good cards come up front and then some of them go all the way in the back, but we're all kind of have our own, challenges and our own story, and how we deal with it. So
And one thing about that deck of cards, like you just said, we all have our own deck of cards, and sometimes those sweet things surface first, and then later on, life happens, and then it's
exactly.
not so sweet, and then life happens, and then things, surface again. So it's like learning how to flow with it, learning how to find balance with it. And I know you lost your parents at an early age, but you say that you weren't adopted, but I have
Mm,
two families. I have two families.
right.
I have my own biological family that I was born to, my mother and my father. But then once I left home at the age of 17, I became the daughter of the family that I moved to in Chicago. They already had three kids, but I was the middle and the middle of the two girls. And so I would just blend it into that family. And to this day, no one ever knows that they're not really my biological family,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
family is who loves you, who
Mhm.
you're bonding with, the relationships that you have. Everything is not always that, a biological family. It's the extended family that's just as important. So you were
Yeah.
adopted. I tell everybody I have I was adopted at 17. I was adopted.
Yeah.
The city
Well,
had legal
those were
paperwork.
they, and nobody takes care, nobody ever takes, in my opinion, nobody takes the place of your mom and dad ever.
No one ever can.
But God gives you the support system. God, a higher being, whatever you believe in, will the universe will send you good people your way. Cherish
Yeah.
those relationships, work at them, and find your happy circle. I would say I live in my happy little bubble because honestly, any negative vibes, just can't deal with it. So I just kind of stay away
Let it
from
go.
people that
Let it go.
gossip. Let it go. Stay in your happy little bubble. Know your worth, like you said. Inside that bubble, you're queen, you're kings, you're go for it. Like that's you, and just stay who you are. Turn some music on, be happy. Life is good. You have all your health, you have your legs, you have your car to go to work, you have Wi-Fi to listen to us. I mean, we have it good. Life is good.
Yeah. And you woke up this morning and you were breathing. So
Exactly.
I always look at it like that. Okay, first of all, thank you for allowing me to wake up and have the breath of life. And then the next thing that I say is that I'm a vessel. Use me. Let me pour out to
Yeah.
others that you've already poured into me. I do not want to leave this earth full. I want to leave this earth empty. My legacy lives on after I'm no longer here. And you are the same way. You are giving back so much to the community, so much to women, so much to the young women. Is it I always say you're transforming generations and you're even leaving your legacies.
Oh, I hope so. Maxine, I think you just froze on me.
I think you just froze on us. All right, so she has frozen on us right now, but I'm
Oh,
sure she's there.
I'm
You
good.
go.
I'm good now. Yeah. On
Okay,
your tombstone, they put the date you're born, dash, the date one dies, right? And
right.
so that dash is all of your life. How are
Yes,
you going to make your dash count? So make your dash count.
yes. You're speaking my language now because I always say you are the dash.
You are the dash. Exactly.
You are the dash. That's your brand. That's
Mhm.
your persona. Those are your achievements. Those are the people that you brought along with you. Those are the ones that you gave your time, talent, and resources to. So you are the dash. So when you're no longer in the room or you're no longer on this earth, what will people say about you? What will they remember about you? And so I always think of it like that. You are the dash, and that dash is your brand.
Yeah.
So I'm
Be
right
do
there with
something.
you.
Yeah, make as many friendships as you can, make as many relationships as you can, and be a vessel, like Maxine said, because you could brighten somebody's day. Don't be negative energy at all. I know you had bad days, but don't like whine about, oh my gosh, this job, this, and that. Go for it. Just ignore the negative. Go for the positive.
And you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about yesterday because I'm a dancer. I love to dance, right? And I
Oh,
dance around the house all the time. But when you got ready to, the panelists, when they got ready to
yeah,
leave the stage, you had them to play the music and they all started dancing. And I'm like, yes, those are the vibes that we want, just constantly move and do your thing, be
yeah,
stand, move and be positive to each other.
yeah.
So I thought that was awesome. And nobody held back on that stage. They were
Um,
all dancing.
we played "I Will Survive" that one with
Yeah. Yeah. I thought
first, I
that
was afraid. It was just so funny because they were so serious and tense, and I was like, okay. And this was impromptu, but it was just like very spontaneous. And I was like, I asked him, does he have something lined up? So I went ahead and asked him to play it. But I was surprised the secretary was dancing, Secretary of State was dancing, the mayor was dancing, everybody's dancing. And they wouldn't come off stage. I just wanted them to kind of come off as they're dancing. It just kind of stayed up there. But anyway, that was fun. That was fun.
I thought that was so awesome. Like I
Oh,
said, the vibe, you have positive vibe the entire time from the time
oh, thank
I in
goodness.
to the time
Yeah.
I left, and I'm like, that's what she's talking about. NC vibes, it's
Oh,
like, yeah, it was live,
yeah.
all live up in there yesterday. It
Yeah.
was awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you're ever in the Raleigh Durham area, come March of next year for Women International Day, there will be an announcement sent out. It definitely will be on my page, Facebook page. It'll be on Biera's Facebook page. And so, therefore, pay attention to it so you can register for it. If nothing else, fly in and enjoy the day. It was phenomenal.
That's great. And I hope you're part of it next year, Maxine. I'm going to work on, starting to kind of plan it from now, but I think you'll be awesome on it. So we'll
Oh,
work on
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Well,
Yeah.
Paul, let's say hurting people hurt people, help people. So people who love to help is going to find other people that they can help to move
Yes.
on. And again, the whole purpose of this platform is so that we can give people hope. We can help people believe in themselves again. We can get them unstuck. We can let them know that you can move forward. You don't have to do things in silo by yourself. You have so many people out here who's willing to help. You have so many resources. They talked about grants for business owners. You had the Small Business Administration there. And so there's so many other things. I'm going to be an advocate for the small business, owners. So I'm going to play another role on another committee coming up shortly that it will be announced. And so there's so many things that we can do to help each other. But just don't be in silo and not let someone know that you need help. And there's nothing wrong with saying you need help. And remember, help comes in so many different forms. It can be volunteer help. You can go and volunteer and learn things that you need to know, and nobody even know you're trying to learn those things.
Mhm. Mhm.
Or you can have a coach, you can have a mentor, you can have a sponsor. So there's so many ways to receive help. You got all of these free programs out here. Just have to do a little research now. And I'm not saying it's going to fall in your lap all the time. So you will have to do a little research. But that's the vibes. You be open, you be approachable, you be friendly, and also be willing to give back. That's a part of your vibe. So just know that you have things that you must do too. So these are platinum nuggets that we're dropping. So are you writing them down? Are you going to be willing to share them? You just can't keep them to yourself. You must share.
Yeah, and Maxine, giving back, speaking of giving back, so like the event yesterday, we made nothing on it, obviously, but we didn't go in the hole either. The vendors themselves paid a small fee, and we were able to cover, and so one or two sponsors, and we were able to, cover the event. But look at how much joy and connection it brought to the community. To me, that's payment enough. Because we were on TV, it was on WRA. I don't know if you saw it, TVD 11 aired
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I didn't see it either. I don't like to watch myself on video, but some of my friends were texting me last night, but it was just such a good event for the community, for our friends, for the entrepreneurs, the immigrants that come here with a big dream. The women that gave up their career to stay with their kids just to put all their life on hold, and now it's their time to live their, make their soap, and make in their jewelry and whatever cause, nonprofits or whatever their heart is. And so it was great to see that is reward enough, so that is giving back
That
you know
is giving back. And you touch so many lives. You
oh,
have no way of knowing how many lives you saved.
I hope so, I hope
Yes.
so.
You have no way of knowing. The other young man that I had an opportunity to have one-on-one with was Tyler,
Oh, he's cute. Yeah,
violinist. It
yeah, yeah.
was so
Tyler
awesome to
does
be
well.
over there, right, be over there speaking with him and watching him. And you watch him on TV performing, right? With the Ellen show and
Hmm.
EGT and all that kind of stuff, American Got Talent. But to see him in person and
Yeah.
then see how he has grown, and maturing into this young man, and then also to hear the gift that he was given, that
Oh,
violin. Yes, you have to learn certain things, but that ear for music is there. The
hmm.
ability to move the fingers, how you need the flexibility and the flow, the smoothness of it. That's a God given ability, something he was born with. That's something no one had to teach him. He had to learn some of what they call it, the strings or the music or
Yeah.
whatever that is. But a lot of it is because it's already within him, and he had an opportunity to bring it out as he learned and then share it with the world. I thought that was awesome.
And he gave back as well because he did it for free. And because we don't have the budget to pay them, they want like thousands. I just can't. We don't have it in the budget. And so the mom offered to do it for free, and I was like, yeah, I would love it. I know, you connect with many, and she was so happy at the end because he really did spread a lot of joy. And it just music. There's something about music that's happy, and it makes people happy, whether it's dancing or this kind of beautiful. The art is just amazing, and if you have that ability, go out, spread it, and there was one thing I remember him from AGT TV, not AGTV, I'm sorry, AGT, the
Uh-huh.
America's Got Talent. And I
Right.
remember thinking, oh, he's so cute, like he's so young, and he is a leukemia survivor. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember him. And he is the most positive person. He's so cute. And, you have to have the compassionate heart to kind of, either buy his music, or I went and bought something to give to somebody else. Um, as a gift, but he was just so sweet. You want to support him, that he came and shared his talent. So don't always think they're performing for free or whatever. Just try to kind of give. Why are they doing it for free? Give back, go support it if you can. Go buy something. They're not asking you for donation, but buy something from to support local.
We're always talking about how can we help.
Hmm.
People saying, well, how can I help? Or don't sit there and find fault in
Hmm.
something if you're
Hmm.
not going to help find the solution along
Yes,
with it. If it's
exactly,
a problem, then come and talk about options for the solution. And if it
exactly.
means supporting this young man, at least he's out here giving back to the community to bring joy at this
Hmm.
particular event. So I'm going to post his website. I want you all to go out there and I want you to support this young man. I mean,
Hmm.
you don't know how often he gives back. We just
Hmm.
happen to know tonight because we're hearing it from, the event coordinator, and she
Yeah,
shared this with us, but we don't know how often he does this. So
yeah.
why not give back? Actually, in a meeting now that is a fundraiser for, LA, okay, and for LLS. Oh, Mark Lee is the
Yeah.
producer, is in a
Oh,
meeting right. Yeah,
yeah.
so we're going to put the link out there so people can start going to the website, purchasing his products, and support
Yes.
this young man. I mean,
Yeah.
support him. Yes. Y'all talking about how can we help, or we have, our youth who's not doing this and our youth who's not doing that, our youth who's getting in trouble. Now you have someone
Exactly.
willing and using their talents to pay it forward. Now let's pay it forward to this young man. So I will
Yes.
put the website out there. And this is another thing that I do too. I'm always trying to encourage people to support.
Yes.
We have to help one another. You don't know our story and you don't know
Yeah,
what's going on behind those closed doors. All you
yeah,
see is the book
right.
cover, but you
Yeah.
haven't read the pages in the book,
Hmm.
you know.
And
So
the more you help others, I promise you, it's so rewarding. You're gonna feel better about yourself and in your, like you're saying, in your worth. You know what? I help all these people. I should be, I should be proud of myself. I did this. I did this. So like when you're evaluating yourself, if you give back, you're gonna feel more like I made this one person's day today with my smile, or they were having a crappy day and I said something nice and it turns your day around.
yes, it does. And I see not only Paulette Austin is on here, but we also have Octavia Maxwell, and she's from my hometown, my home state, West Virginia. And Paulette, she's from Raleigh, North Carolina. So we have to make sure that we start talking about Paulette. And I think Paulette is going to come on the show later on this year. So we're
Oh,
going to have her on, and so she can share exactly how she's helping individuals and she's giving back as well.
that's
So I am just so excited and so glad to have you with us this evening. This is just so. What would be some of your final closing comments that you like to make? Do you have anything upcoming? Do you have an event coming about that you like to
good.
share with us?
Well,
How?
so now we're working on May 6th. There's a satire festival downtown Raleigh. On May 13th, there's Atlantic Beach International Festival. On June 3rd is the International Food Festival downtown Raleigh. So
I
follow
saw
our
that.
website. Yeah,
Yes.
follow our website, ncvibes.com. We have tons of events coming also the latter part of the year. So we'll have TEDx, we have all that other stuff on there. So, but ncvibes.com, and you'll be able to see all the events. But to close the session, thank you so much, Maxine, for having me. Your smile is incredibly contagious, and your positive attitude is contagious. And I hope I can make a difference just like you are in other people's lives. So everyone that listens on regular basis, shout out to Maxine. I'm going to put my timer so I can listen to you every Monday night if I can.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in for those kind words. So we'll be doing some more things together. This is, hey,
Anytime.
I don't believe a one and done.
No, no, no. It's about building relationships, honestly.
Yeah,
It's about real, genuine relationships, not just like, hey, let me not work here. I really don't want to be here, kind of thing. You would
right,
go in with a positive attitude and get to know the other person because they're at the end of the day a person like yourself. Well, whoever their title is, CEO, COO, whatever they are, is just a title for their own company. Without it, they would not be so intimidating, right? It is
right.
just a real person. And so you saw it yesterday. Everybody wanted to talk to the mayor. Everybody wanted to talk to Elaine Marshall. And so they just real people like you and me. They just want this genuine connection. So yeah.
I know, and it is it's enough people in this world to go around for everyone. But do your part as far as helping the next person, and it's not about what's in it for me. It's
Hmm.
how can I service you? How can I help you move forward? And so if we take that attitude, that positive mental attitude is what I call it, the world would be in a much better place, a much
Yeah.
better place. So
So
thank you so much. I do. You listen. The information is going across the screen, and then she said ncvibes.com is going to be the main place that you're going to want to go in order to see all the activities that are going on. And I'm going to put Tyler's information up so that you can go out there and support him, this young man. I do want to encourage you to support him. And volunteers, are do you going to have a volunteer space for people to volunteer to help you?
yeah, we have a volunteer link on our website as well, internationalfestival.org, or on the NC Vibe, the website you gave. So
Okay,
there's, yeah, the nonprofit is the international festival.org, but you
right.
can also go to NC Vibes, and NC Vibes will have that as well.
Have that as well. And I'm sure there's a donation button out there as well that they can donate to the nonprofit.
I don't have that,
That's what I
but
mean.
just write me, yeah, because we try to, the sponsors, we want to work a relationship. We don't just like, just take my, what I'm saying? It would be great to just take money, but we want to also
I
highlight the
love that.
business, put them on stage, give them a space for their booth. You want to connect one on one. I mean, we probably need to put a donation button though at
Well,
some
that's
point.
just for those who are unable to come to the actual Raleigh
Exactly.
area, but they do want to contribute in some way. This will give them an option to contribute. I think that's what I was thinking in my mind. Like, is there a donation button? Not that you're
Yeah,
really trying for but you just never know who's out there
it'd be
because this
nice. Yeah,
one of the
yeah,
things about Pod TV is that not only is Pod TV, but it's also Roku, it's also YouTube. It goes to YouTube and it's
nice.
also in 200 countries. So
Wow.
you're seen around the world in everything that we're talking about. So you just never know who in the world would like to become a part of this, but not here
Yes.
actually physically, in
Yeah.
the Raleigh Durham area. So I
Well,
know that ends our time. So thank you so much for being my special guest. We'll have to bring you back
anytime. Thank you so much.
so
I
we
will
can
be
see you
happy to be back.
live, be a part of it. But
Thank you
listen,
so
ladies
much.
and gentlemen, you've heard the Platinum Nuggets. You know what the call is. We always looking for resources and we always want to help one another. And remember, I believe in you. I trust you believe in yourself. I'll see you next week, same time. All right, come back. Have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.